Imagine the ocean suddenly opening into a giant dark hole. A place so deep, almost nothing survives at the bottom. And hidden inside are secrets older than civilization itself.
60 miles off the coast of Belize, a near-perfect circle cuts through the shallow Caribbean waters. The Great Blue Hole spans a massive 1,000-foot width, a sudden void of deep water completely surrounded by bright turquoise. Up here at the surface, the rim of the sinkhole is a thriving ecosystem. The coral reef is teeming with tropical fish, sea turtles, and reef sharks patrolling the warm, sunlit shallows. But cross that rim, and the vibrant life stops. The ocean floor simply drops away into a sheer vertical wall, plunging straight into darkness. At the end of this 400-foot vertical drop lies a silent underwater world that has remained largely untouched for thousands of years. Legendary oceanographer Jacques Cousteau was obsessed with answering that question in the 1970s, though the extreme depth and harsh conditions kept the very bottom out of reach for decades. The coral reef at the surface is essentially a mask. To understand the true nature of this sinkhole, you have to descend into the pitch black. Dropping down the vertical wall, the major change happens 100 feet below the surface. The sheer rock pushes back, opening into a massive cavernous overhang. Suspended in the water, hanging from the ceiling of this overhang, are dense clusters of stalactites. The largest reach over 40 feet in length. Finding them here is a geological paradox. Stalactites require dripping water to deposit minerals over time. They are absolutely incapable of forming underwater. This diagram shows what the ocean floor looked like roughly 150,000 years ago, during a period of massive glaciation. Because so much of the Earth's water was locked up in ice caps, sea levels were vastly lower. The area that is now the Blue Hole was high, dry land, containing a hollow limestone cave. Over thousands of years, fresh water dripped through the porous limestone roof. Drop by drop, the calcium carbonate accumulated, slowly building these massive stone icicles from the ceiling downward. If you look closely at these formations today, they share a uniform 5-degree tilt. That angle indicates an ancient tectonic event where the entire continental plateau shifted and settled before the stalactites continued to grow. Eventually, the ice caps melted and ocean levels rose. The sea reclaimed the land, pouring into the cavern and flooding the dry cave completely. Under the immense, crushing weight of the rising ocean, the porous limestone roof could no longer support itself. The ceiling collapsed inward, leaving the steep, cylindrical walls we see today. Those stalactites at the 100-foot mark serve as a frozen geological clock, offering physical proof that this section of the ocean floor was once open-air dry land. To go deeper, we leave scuba limits behind and follow a 2018 submersible expedition. As their submarine descends past the 300-foot mark, the last remaining traces of sunlight vanish into absolute pitch black. This depth chart indicates a distinct boundary layer the team encountered at 300 feet down. They hit a thick, murky wall of hydrogen sulfide suspended in the water column. Below this toxic chemical barrier lies the anoxic zone. As the readout shows, the moment you pass the hydrogen sulfide layer, oxygen levels drop to absolute zero. In an environment entirely devoid of oxygen, survival becomes impossible. The rich marine life from the surface simply cannot exist down here. When unlucky creatures like hermit crabs or conchs stumble over the edge, they tumble down the shaft, fall through the sulfide layer, and instantly suffocate. Their shells pile up on the silty floor in what researchers describe as a conch graveyard. The submersible crew also found the bodies of 2 missing scuba divers resting quietly in the silt at the very bottom. The lack of oxygen that causes instant suffocation also halts the natural process of decay. Deep within this toxic layer, remains and conch shells are kept in near-perfect preservation. The floor of the Blue Hole acts as a perfectly preserved toxic graveyard, sealed away from the living ocean by an invisible chemical wall. Ascending rapidly back to the bright open air of the Caribbean Sea, the scale of the sinkhole snaps back into focus, resetting our perspective. This massive sinkhole functions as a natural archive,
holding physical records that tell the story of Earth's ancient history. The descent through its layers, from the tilted stalactites of the Ice Age to the toxic, oxygen-starved depths, offers a stark physical record of our planet's extreme geological volatility. The massive shifts in sea level recorded right into the limestone walls serve as a precise indicator of how radically the Earth's climate has fluctuated in the past. Often, the most profound historical archives in nature are found perfectly intact, locked away in the dark, hostile environments we are most hesitant to explore.